guys, how you doing? Hope you had a great weekend. I know I did. I mean, you know, UConn men are going to the national championship, which is tonight, which I'm really excited for. And you know, thoughts go out to the women's team that lost to Notre Dame last night. Ugh, don't get me started on that. Well, sorry I didn't post any more videos up last week. Yeah, I tried posting this video up on Friday, but then my computer decided, to shut down unexpectedly while the video was saving on my computer, and in turns I lost everything I worked on. So this is going to be attempt number 3 to make this video. So let's get started. So today, a few months ago, I decided to do a Gundam marathon. I'm a huge anime fan, and Gundam is one of my favorite animes of all time. It's very near and dear to my heart. It was like, you know, back 10 years ago when Toonami first came on Cartoon Network, one of the first shows it had when it started playing anime was Gundam Wing. It was the first Gundam anime to come to the United States, and when I watched it, just blew me away, because compared to what Toonami had 10 years ago, which was like Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon, Gundam had a very complex plot with no clear who's the hero, who's the villain. Everyone is complex. It's a politically complex, and it was interesting. It was something that, at the time when I was 10 years old, it's something that didn't really occur to me at that point, that this was just something, I mean, at the time when I watched it, it was like, oh wow, this is very, you know, awesome, giant robots fighting, you know, how cool is that, you know? It wasn't until later on that I really appreciated the complexity and the depth that a lot of the Gundam series has, and Gundam over time has become really one of my favorite animes of all time. I love the Gundam series, and recently, like, I've been, you know, recently, after watching Turn A Gundam, I started to do, why don't you just do a Gundam marathon? Try to go and watch everything Gundam, like, straight through. I know by the end of this, I'm going to hate Gundam, probably. I mean, that's probably not going to happen, but, you know, I probably won't touch anything Gundam for, like, a good year, and then I'll probably watch another Gundam series. But, yeah, so today I'm going to start with a review of Turn A Gundam, because that was the first one I watched, and then when I post my next video, I'll do a review on Mobile Suit Gundam, which I watched after that, and then Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam, which I just finished yesterday. So, Turn A Gundam is was released in 1999, and it is notable because it is the last Gundam series to be released in the 20th century. Mobile Suit Turn A Gundam was created as a way to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Mobile Suit Gundam franchise. It was also the last Gundam series to be directed and written by Yoshiyuki Tomino, the creator of the Gundam series. This was his last Gundam series he did before retiring, and it was also the last Gundam series to be traditionally hand-drawn. If you notice the next Gundam series that followed afterwards, which was Gundam Seed, you know, that kind of broke ground. That was the first Gundam series to be like, you know, animated with computers and stuff like that. But no, Turn A Gundam was the last series last for a lot of things in the Gundam franchise. And Turn A Gundam is set in the correct century, which is, I can't remember the exact year it is set in, but it's set in, like, the universe that it's set in is in a world where the moon and the earth are completely separate things. There's people living on Earth, there's people living on the moon. The people who live on the moon are called the Moonrace. The Moonrace lives in this extremely technologically advanced utopia, essentially. While Earth has been kind of like, while Earth was just as, at one point, was as technologically advanced as the moon at one point, through a destructive war which is known throughout the series as the Dark History, Earth has been kind of reduced to an early 20th century level era technology and culture and stuff like that. And the Moonrace, eventually, because of the Dark History, because of that war, had to flee Earth and live on the moon. Now, eventually, the Moonrace wants to return back to Earth, so not only do they contact with top Earth diplomats, they're also always sending people from the Moonrace to go and live on Earth and, you know, collect information and collect data and stuff like that. Now, one of the people that they sent is our protagonist named Loran Cehack. Loran, when he arrives on Earth, he works in a small village with a huge mine. He eventually not only works in the mine, but he bonds with the mine owner's daughters, Ki-Hel and So-Shi Haim, and becomes their driver too. Now, Loran eventually also he becomes a part of the village. He grows up and he strongly bonds with the people in the community and the people of Earth. And however, one day during, Loran is invited to become a man through a coming-of-age ceremony that they do in the village, and the Moonrace decides to attack, to invade Earth in full force. And during this, Loran stumbles onto the Turn A Gundam. And with the Turn A Gundam, and using the Turn A Gundam, not only does he have to, he becomes the symbol of the Earth's resistance against the Moon, and kind of levels the playing ground, while the Earth race develops its technology and develops its mobile suits to fight off evenly against the Moonrace and stuff like that. One of the things that's notable about Turn A Gundam is its extremely slow pace. Now, usually most of the Gundam series are extremely fast and they're extremely action-oriented, and that means there's a strong plot to the Gundam series by any means, but this is an extremely character-driven story compared to most of the other Gundam series. Like, all these characters are fully fleshed out, and they're even more apparent, I mean, not to say that the other Gundam series don't have fleshed out characters, but this is kind of more apparent because of the slow nature of the story. This also backfires because the story tends to drag a lot also. Like, it isn't until, like, the last 15, episodes that really it starts to feel like a Gundam story, where they find that balance between really good plot, really good character structure and stuff like that, with really great action. It's not until the last 15 episodes where we see that happen. But we also see, like, the Gundam being used for very weird, like I said, like, the Turn A Gundam throughout the series is not just a mobile suit that's used to kill and destroy things. It's kind of become like a symbol of hope for the people on Earth, and it's kind of apparent because Loran uses the Turn A Gundam not only to fight against the Moonrace, but also to help, to help with other menial tasks. Like, there's this one episode where they help a woman save her farm and stuff like that through the use of the Gundam. And it's interesting stuff, and one thing I want to talk about, speaking of Gundam, is the mobile suit designs. The mobile suit designs are weird. I mean, they got a guy from the show, I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now, who did work with Blade Runner, the famous 1982 Ridley Scott sci-fi movie, to do the mobile suit designs, and they look really weird. I mean, there are some mobile suits called the Sumos, which are the mobile suits that the Royal Guard of the Moonrace use. They look more like traditional mobile suits, but here, you have mobile suits that have just 2 legs, that are just bipedal, have 2 legs, and that's it. You have really tiny mobile suits, and even the Turn A Gundam looks really weird itself. If you ever see a picture of the Turn A Gundam, it's instead of being very square shaped that we see in most of the Gundam series, it's very like all the shape of the limbs are circular. The little horns, instead of being on the top here, are like a mustache, which is why they call it the mustache doll at times. And yeah, so they're very weird looking mobile suits. I mean, and also we also see the return of the Zaku's make an appearance too. The Zaku's are used by the Earth race as well, and it's kind of cool seeing the Zaku's again. It's yeah, Zaku's. And but one thing I also want to talk about is, now let's go back to the characters. As I said, the story, because of its slower pace, allows for these characters to fully develop and are fully realized characters. The thing I want to talk about is Loran. Loran Cehack is probably one of the more likable of the Gundam protagonists. The Gundam one thing is that Gundam has always had a problem with this, is extremely unlikable protagonist. I mean, as much as I love the original, as much as I love Zeta Gundam, which is my favorite anime series, I hate Camille Bidon. He is an annoying pest, and I hate him, with a fiery passion. But Loran is a fully realized, he's not fully realized, but he's one of the more well-liked of the protagonists. Not only, he's not angsty by any means. He's extremely mature, level-headed, calm, strong. He has a strong sense of justice, like most of the other Gundam most of the other main characters do. But he's not. He's likable. He's not full of himself. He doesn't feel like he's a god among men. He's a humble individual, and very well liked and very well respected. And he's very humble, and stands in complete contrast. And it's a nice change from these usually either the angsty teenagers or the stone cold killers that we see in Hero and Setsuna. He's a fully realized character, and it's really nice to see that. And yeah, all the other characters are great too. The main villain of the series, I'm not gonna spoil it for you. The main villain it's kind of sucks that he did come on so late in the series, but he definitely makes it a lot more interesting being the villain. And Gim Gigum, if you want to figure him out, he appeared in the most recent Dynasty Warriors Gundam game. makes the story a lot more interesting, especially in those last 10-15 episodes. And let me see what else. Yeah, but like I said, it's definitely like, you know, if you want to get into the Gundam series, you haven't watched a Gundam series before, I wouldn't recommend starting a Turn A Gundam. Like, it's really not the best, you know, it's not saying it's not the best, I mean, it's still good, but it's definitely, like, not the one you want to start with. I recommend either starting with Gundam Wing, Gundam Seed, or the original Mobile Suit Gundam. If you really want to get into the Gundam series, that will be the places to start. Maybe Gundam 00 too, like, you know, like, just watch, you know, Turn A Gundam is not the best place. Turn A Gundam is a series for, I think it's a series that was made for fans. And, you know, by that time, fans will understand, like, you know, what's going on there. And if I had to give it a score, I have to give it an 8 out of 10. I mean, like I said, the story is, you know, I enjoy the fully fleshed out characters, and the last 10-15 episodes are really great, but the slower pace may bore some. I mean, even I had a difficult time sitting through it. Well, alright, like I said, I give it an 8 out of 10, and next, probably Wednesday, hopefully, I'll have my review of Mobile Suit Gundam ready for you guys. Alright, peace.